There are some new updates into the tragic life of Kevin Hunter, and it looks like the former member of the Bank of Wendy might be going to prison. But there is some good news for Kevin as well, because he secured a major legal victory against the Wendy Williams show. Most of y'all already know the story. But I'm going to just give a quick refresher so you understand what the current situation is. And child, there is so much we need to unpack, because this situation is a hot, stinking mess, honestly, with what Teaver has been happening to Kevin Hunter. He has nobody else to blame but himself. It's crazy to see how he went from being Wendy's husband, living a great life as a major producer on one of the biggest talk shows, to now being homeless in serious debts with major legal troubles. I swear Miss Karma never plays, and it gives you exactly what you ask. And we already know most of it has to do with whatever he put Wendy through with his mistress Sharina Hudson, even though Wendy gave him a lot of freedom. Kevin wanted to bite more than he can chew because he ended up doing the one thing that led to Wendy having a major breakdown, getting his side piece pregnant.
Couldn't call my mom, my dad, my sister. They would have just said, just leave, just leave. And I'm like, but I'm still in love. I don't know what to do. Like, are you serious with this? This is really going.
Well, as we know, Wendy eventually made up her mind to file for divorce after this. And trust, she decided to get some revenge on Kevin first. And she made sure to get him fired from his job as producer of The Wendy Show on the same day that she served him divorce papers just to get her lie back at him.
If you make, I don't recommend that you work with your husband because I made him my manager. And then when I decided to divorce him, he had to be fired. In other words, I made him divorced and unemployed all in one.
After he got fired from the show, he was unemployed, which was a really bad thing because Shireen was also unemployed, and they had a baby on the way. But then Kevin came up with a great idea, which was to get alimony payments from Wendy. Now we don't know exactly how much he managed to get out of Wendy, but we know that it was a pretty big amount of money. It was definitely enough money for him and Sharina to live in luxury and comfort without either one of them having a job. Kevin didn't think too far into the future, and he continued to live off the alimony without making investments or savings or anything like that. And when Wendy's show got canceled, the alimony payments stopped coming in, and it wasn't long before he lost all his money and went broke. At first, he felt very entitled to Wendy's money, and he went on several interviews where he said stuff like Wendy was in rehab, and these people just stopped depositing my money cold turkey. Now I'm demanding to see all the bank records from the time of the divorce until now, and that will show what's really going on. These people have tried to starve me out. At the end of the day, I earned that money and I'm not letting them take it. But then he realized that he and his lawyers had messed things up during the alimony payments, so no matter what stab story he tried to say, he wasn't going to get any of her money. You see, it turned out that Wendy's lawyers were smarter than his, and they included a clause saying that Wendy would no longer pay him alimony if she ever left the Wendy Show, since he claimed that he was the brain behind the Wendy Show, and he was entitled to some compensation. The clause said if for any reason Wendy's contract would talk W's not renewed and or is otherwise suspended, canceled, or terminated, and Wendy does not have any other television show being aired and paying her an equivalent salary, defendant aka Kevin understands and agrees that all severance payments shall be subject to either termination or modification. I don't know how on earth Kevin's lawyers missed that, but he signed the contract, and as soon as he realized how badly he messed up, he switched from being entitled to apologizing and publicly begging Wendy for help, saying that he was going broke and was on the verge of losing everything. He said, I have fallen behind on most of my bills. My life has been greatly affected since Wendy stopped making payments under our settlement agreement. The fact that I am unable to sustain my life and pay my bills in order is extremely urgent to me. I cannot pay my bills and sustain my day-to-day living. When that didn't convince Wendy to cough up some money to bail him out of this mess, he tried to sue her for money, and he got a lot of smoke for this because fans felt like he needed to get a job instead of begging his ex-wife for handouts. But it was pointless anyway because the judge threw out his case, which wasn't surprising since he didn't exactly have a strong case to start with. And to make matters worse, he and Sharina hadn't been smart enough with money when they had it because they went broke almost immediately after Wendy's check stew coming in. And at first people thought that Kevin and Sharina were going to stick it out together because they genuinely loved and cared for each other. mean their affair was going on for about 10 or 11 years before Sharina got pregnant, and Wendy filed for divorce, which means that they have been together for about 15 years now. But it turns out Sharina hasn't about that broke life, and she dipped and dumped him. According to a blind item somewhere out there, a talk show host is having a great laugh. Her serial cheating serial stealing ex broke up with his mistress. She was spending too much of his ill-gotten gains. Sources also confirmed to blogger Patty Johnson that Sharina had left Kevin and moved back in with her mom.
Now, I am hearing that her ex-husband Kevin and Sharina are no longer together, and you know what that is.
Well, come on now.
The money gone.
What you thought was going to happen?
The money is gone.
Not just that, but Sharina is allegedly planning to sue Kevin for child support, and it looks like she's going to be cleaning him out very soon. And that brings us to the current situation. Kevin has many pressing legal issues, but he is on the verge of going broke and might be on his way to jail due to all his legal issues. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this, but earlier this year, it was revealed that Kevin was in a lot of debt. So Kevin was hit with a lawsuit from UBS Bank because he used to pay his credit card debt, according to court documents, by way of letters dated January 23, 2023 and March 1, 2023. UBS Bank advised defendant, among other things, that he had defaulted under the terms of the agreement and that the outstanding balance due under the account was accelerated, wherefore UBS Bank demands judgment against defendant for damages in an amount to be determined at trial, but not less than $2,176.83 cost of suit, including attorney fees and such other and further. Our relief as the court deems just inequitable. So basically, if he fails to pay, you already know what's going to happen now. It was recently revealed that he has sold his Florida mansion where he used to live with Sharina in a bid to offset his debt, but allegedly the sale didn't cover his debt, and the creditors, including the bank, are now calling for their money. Also, might I add that he also took out a loan on his 2 luxury cars, and get this, he also sold another house he bought after Wendy divorced him and honey. It's very much looking like he has no place to call home, being homeless in debt. In legal cases, that's just the stuff of nightmares. But it looks like there is some hope for him because his lawsuit against Dear Mercury, the production company behind Wendy Williams' show, has gotten green light to go to trial. So Kevin sued the production house, claiming that the company fired him unjustly, and he wanted them to pay for all the trouble. According to Kevin, he was an important part of that show's success. He actually said that he was behind iconic segments like Hot Topics and Wendy's Shoe Cam, and that he was the one who decided on guest and developed marketing plans to boost ratings. He also accused the producers for planning to use many of the elements from Wendy's show on their new talk show with Cher Shepherd, which according to him broke New York law. Kevin claims that he was fired from the show not because he was not doing his job properly, but because he got divorced, which is illegal in New York. The producer did file a motion to dismiss the case, but that motion was thrown out by the court, and now Kevin will finally have a trial. Kevin's attorney released a statement saying Mr. Hunter is happy that the court denied Wendy's producer's motion to dismiss and that he will ultimately see his date in court. Mr. Hunter was instrumental in making the Wendy Williams show the success that it was before it went off the air, and the only reason he was terminated was because his marriage was ending with Wendy. Nothing at all based on the merits of his performance, but the internet has no pity for him. And they left comments like, boy, that karma hits. I don't know why some people don't think karma does not spend the block. Keep your morals intact. That's what he gets. His karma came swift. He dogged Wendy out and thought the grass was greener. And now he isn't with the side chick either. Big karma. Is there an age limit to sign up for Job Corps? Cuz at this point he's homeless, unemployed, and unskilled, and Popeyes is hiring. Churches is hiring when money ain't right. You got to put your pride to the side. Also, who's paying his legal fees? Child. We all need an answer to that last question, because in addition to all his debt, he probably has a ton of legal debt from doing everyone in Hollywood. But I do want to know what you guys think about this. Do you think that he's going to win this last case, or do you think that he needs to get a regular job like everyone else and pay his bills? Let me know what you think about this, and then check out this next video.